Okay, hello. So it's Jacqueline of Jacqueline's Textiles. I thought that I would do videos not on any sort of like schedule, but whenever I see a need, I figure I'd do a video for YouTube and the Instagrams. Essentially, I like to kludge my way through things. And I figure it could be helpful for other people. So I'm going to do a video on making a warping board or warping pegs out of dowels. A friend of mine I got dowels from Lowe's, Home Depot, and they're like this long. And I had a friend cut them down to whatever length I wanted, pretty much even, so that way we could use the whole dowel. And these do not fit into the loom. They wobble a lot. So I took Walmart bags, cut them up, and created little space fillers. And I take these and I shove the peg down in it. Now this is not perfect. They still bend, so you can't warp a whole lot. You can't warp all the way up because it bends more and more. And you have to really watch your tension. But essentially it gets you by. Because a lot of people, they do the direct warping. I actually tried that. I really didn't like it. It didn't work for me. So I'm like, well, let me try indirect warping. The thing is, to order the Ashford pegs, I'd have to buy them. I'd have to get them shipped. What if I didn't like them? Can I just get them from nearby? So we came up with this idea, and it allowed me to test it out. Actually, I don't even want the pegs at this point. I want a full-on warping board. That's on my wish list. I'm working towards that. That is definitely on one of my business goals, to get a full-fledged, large-size warping board. That would be fantastic. I'd be really excited to get that, because I just went to Lowe's. Oh, and they stick pretty well too. I went to Lowe's, got a dowel, got it cut down to several of these, and I just shoved the plastic down in there, shoved this inside, and I know that I like indirect warping. All of the stuff that I've made for my business has been indirect warping. I love indirect warping. Yes, it's more difficult. Yes, it requires more gear, but I'm a gearhead. I love gear. That's what I love about weaving. It's like, oh, look at all the stuff I get to buy. So that is this Kludge, the dowels. And these dowels, let me show you for my this is what I have for the leashing, and this is my back beam stick, because mine is my warp holder. And I'm also new at this, so I don't know all the words for things. But mine is attached to the loom. It's an Ashford Rigid Heddle, so I have to tie this on with all of the warp, and this goes right in there. So I just got this from Home Depot, and I got a smaller one to fit the size. And I'll put a link in, or I'll put a description in the description box about the exact size that I got. But this is the stick that I have, and I just had my friend cut it down to size. He just took these and then measured, and this tape is here because he said that keeps it from not fraying. I work too much with string, don't I? But to keep it from splintering, he taped around it, and he just sawed into it and made a bunch of these. And like I said, they're not perfect. They bend a little bit. They're not excessively strong. So you kind of have to do about a bundle of about, I do usually sets of 10, so really 20 strings. And that stays at the bottom. The closer you stay to the base, the less it's gonna bend or warp the sticks, because it's so close to the base it can't move a whole lot. So the closer you stay to that, usually about 10, or when you're using like worsted weight yarn like I use for now, as long as you stay close to the base, it cuts down on the bending, because keep in mind, when it bends, that means the strings up here are much shorter than the strings down here. But essentially it's a great thing to get you by until you figure out, no, I rather do the direct warping, or I rather just buy the pegs. At least you know that, hey, these pegs work. And even if, this has held me over for several months. Everything I've made, and I've got about 53 products, 54 products that I have made have been with these wobbly little sticks. There's a work factor in there. You gotta factor in some things, but it gets me by until I can afford that beautiful giant warping board from Ashford. I believe in brand loyalty. Once I find a brand I like, I want to stick to it, kind of ride or die type deal. So Ashford is my go-to. I've got the loom, I've got the shuttles, I've got got the boat shuttle. If it is Ashford at this point, I want it. Or if I need something, it's Ashford. But if it's Ashford, I want it. So just because I don't need it, if it says Ashford on it, I have a tendency to want it nonetheless. So yeah, so that's the closeout of this video. Maybe not the greatest video. I'm new at this whole instruction video thing, but I thought I'd just try this. I'll also show you other Kludges over time. The next one I really want to work on is kind of an instructional video on using a stick shuttle. I actually could not figure out how to use this thing. The boat shuttle, you know, there's instructions, but the stick shuttle, it takes a bit of finagling, and I kind of think I've got it, so I thought I'd share that for other people who are like, how do I do this? And I also am all about efficiency and doing things as efficiently and quickly as possible. And I think I've got it, at least for me, to a system where it is quick, it is efficient, and it is kind of fun to do. So yes, so these videos won't be on any sort of regular basis. I'm not going to say subscribe. I'm not going to say like, because I will disappoint you in not putting out videos for months at a time. But when I find a kludge that I think other people would find useful, I will gladly share it on to the YouTubes so that other people, because a lot of times I make videos because I'm like, how do I do this? Look it up on YouTube, nothing's there, so then I have to figure out how to do it. Well, once I see like, well, that's something I wanted, I figure other people will want it. So therefore, I am here to provide you with answers to the questions that I had. So thanks so much. This is Jacqueline's Textiles. Bye.